So with the brand new Bleach game almost, well, I'll say almost upon us. I mean, it's soon to be released, you know, in a couple of months' time, we'll say, of course, or in a few months' time. Either way, of course, obviously, a few months ago, we had the alpha testing. I myself and other content creators and other players in general managed to get their hands into the alpha for Bleach, and for the most part the game has just got non-stop praises. I mean, it's an alpha, so there's issues that we did give our thoughts on and what needs to be fixed, etc. But overall, with how the game is looking and with what could potentially be a finished product, it really is like a One Piece fighting path, but Bleach skinned, and it will be globally available. So it's exciting times. It is going to be the game that I am going to be mainly focusing. Again, I'm fully on board with it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But like I said, I did play the alpha, of course. There was a tweet that came out not that long ago, like a couple of days ago, I'd say. It seems that soon something is going to be announced, maybe shown. And I've mentioned it, and others have also mentioned it, other content creators, news reporters and whatnot that cover anime, mobile games, etc. Closed beta will be happening, so just stay tuned for that, of course. Hopefully that might be the announcement, I'm not too sure, but I would not say no to more gameplay and trailer. That way we can talk about it more and whatnot. So what I want to do is, I do want to get the ball rolling. Like I said, it is going to be the main focus for myself. It is going to be the game that I will be, you know, playing consistently throughout the channel. And like I said, I do want to get the ball rolling. Now, I completely forgot that I do have info, gameplay and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at where Ichigo is at right now. So of course, within the alpha they gave us a few characters to play around with. I've got all the info for all the SSR characters. SR, I don't have all of them, so we're gonna talk about Ichigo. We're gonna start things off with the Holification Ichigo. That's the Ichigo that I'm speaking of course, which is the SSR one. So we're gonna start things off with, I guess, the evasion for Ichigo, of course. Very basic. It's level 1. When an enemy attacks and is about to hit you, you can seize the right timing to avoid the attack with evasion. And again, it's got that perfect dodge mechanic, of course, so if you do dodge in time, you can come in with your own hit back, of course. But very simple, simplistic evasion. So not only do you have evasion, but you also have blocking. So we've got Fugetsu block. After evading enemy attacks at high speed, Ichigo unleashes a 13 high speed swing slashes with Tensas and Getsu around the enemy. Then he then accumulates his Reiyoku and performs a powerful downward strike that deals 546% damage and knocks the enemy back. While the skill is being released, Bankai Ichigo will be in invincibility status. Please do keep in mind, you can level up his block, his skills, his attacks and whatnot. So the Fugetsu block right here is a level 4, hence why it's 546. If it was a level 3, it will be a little bit less. If it was a level 5, it will be a little bit more. So there is more to the skill tree of Ichigo, where you actually have to level up his attacks to make them stronger, which I'm sure you guys are used to when it comes to other mobile games, or games like these in general. So moving along, we now have normal attacks. Now with normal attacks, there's paths, there's branches. So we'll get into just the normal attack initially. So Ichigo unleashes a series of high-speed slashes with his Tensei Zangetsu towards the front, dealing 5 rounds of 703% damage in total. Keep in mind, it's a level 6. If the attack is paused after the 3rd round of super high-speed slash, Ichigo will accumulate the Reiyoku, and a cross-shaped flame will appear on him. Tapping the normal attack button at this moment will cause him to release a skill branch called Tenbu Renjin. Now what Tenbu Renjin does is that it unleashes a series of high speed slashes towards the enemy, dealing 6 rounds of 622% damage in total. So I guess one thing to take note of is that, when it comes to movesets, there's more to it. Right, it's not just going to be the initial, you just smash your button, the same attack goes off, smash your button, the same attack. There's more depth to it. Now the next normal attack is when he transforms. So after holification, Ichigo's power is greatly increased. The total damage of normal attack super high speed slash is increased to 751%. The total damage of Tenbu Renjin is increased to 725%. So I mean, it's a no-brainer. Once that transformation kicks in, the damage and the obviously stat in general for attack damage and whatnot just bumps up tremendously. So yeah, pretty threatening. Moving along now to the good old Getsuga Tensho. That is right, the skill of this Ichigo, the transformation Ichigo. So Black Ryatsu covers Zanbakuto, unleashing its maximum destructive power against the enemy in a split second, dealing 187% damage to the target hit and applying the Moon Fang mark on the enemy. After hitting an enemy with Getsuga Tensho, immediately tap the normal attack button. Ichigo will use flash step to approach the enemy, prioritizing the enemies marked with Moonfang and immediately releasing Tenbu Renjin. So it's that additional. I know initially hearing about the damage of Getsuga Tensho being 187, but again, there's more to it, of course. Again, if you transform, then the Getsuga Tensho, so after holification, Ichigo can release the Getsuga Tensho twice in a row, with the first one dealing 190% damage and the next one dealing 195% damage. So again, once that hollow form is in play, be careful, because Ichigo is practically a monster. And then lastly, of course, it's the transformation itself. It's the ultimate skill for Ichigo being hollow. So Ichigo puts on a mask, releasing the power of his hollow. He gains the ability to resist interruptions, and all attack damage is enhanced for 10 seconds. During holification, Ichigo will not be unable to fight if Black Moon Fang is not actively released during holification. It will be automatically released once holification ends, of course. So basically what that is meaning is that once you're in that hollow form, you can pretty much just go at it, right? Just step up to the enemy, like pretty much flash step right to their face and just give them the barrage of the attack. Once the holification is come to an end, Ichigo will automatically activate Getsuga Tensho. So a Getsuga Tensho in the holification form is a guaranteed. So that's one thing which I utilize to the best of my ability, is that I would, obviously with the damage boost that I'm getting whilst I'm in that hollow form, going with that attack, knowing that at the end of it all, I can get that Getsuga Tensho off, and then of course he'll go back to his regular state. So in a nutshell, that is Ichigo. I also do have his dupe information, so we'll get into that now. So just to briefly talk about the dupe before we dive on in, of course. So every character has 11 dupe pieces. And I know hearing 11 dupe pieces, you're telling me we need 11 characters, Shiny. I don't think it works like that, because I know for a fact I didn't pull, because I managed to get my Ichigo to the 3rd dupe, and I know for a fact I didn't pull that many Ichigos, of course, or the SSR versions. I think one Ichigo will give you like 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 dupe pieces, right? Getting a dupe of a character will give you a certain amount of pieces which you can invest into the character's dupe system or dupe bar, and it is done in pieces. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then all the way to the 11th piece. It's kind of weird how I'm wording it, but yeah, I don't think you need 11 characters of an SSR character. So that's one thing which I just want to clear out of the way. So when it comes to Ichigo's dupe bar, so for example, if you get 1 piece dupe on him, it'll buff up his stats. If you get him 2 piece dupe, it'll buff up his skills. So within Ichigo's, or with all characters' dupe system, the 3rd piece, the 6th piece, and the 11th piece are the ones that you want to reach. Let's start things off with the 3rd dupe, of course. So it's called the Sun That Blocks the Sky. And the way it works is each time after the skill Getsuga Tensho is released, the critical hit chance of the normal attack branch Tenbu Renjin is increased by 40% for 9 seconds. When releasing Tenbu Renjin, each crit hit will reduce the cooldown time on the skill by 0.5 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 0.2 seconds and can be triggered up to 6 times during each use of Tenbu Renjin. Thankfully enough, I managed to actually utilize this, as I actually did get my Ichigo to the 3rd dupe, and this was pretty disgusting. The game itself does have items that I believe I can't really remember, but I don't know if there was an item where you can actually increase your crit, because there are materials that you can apply to your character to give them like HP up, attack up and whatnot, of course, and I can't remember if there was a crit chance boost or a crit damage boost, because if that is the case, then this is going to be pretty disgusting to have. Of course, that tempo engine will be pretty insane, but this does help out greatly for your Getsuga Tensho to be more consistent with the lower drop on the cooldown, of course. This is now the 6th dupe on the duplication, or the dupe bar, should I say. So this one's called the Rising Black Moon. The duration of the Moon Fang mark is increased by 4 seconds. Okay, for each Zangeki damage Ichigo inflicts on an enemy with a Moon Fang mark, all his damage is increased by 1% for 6 seconds. This can stack up to 10 times, that's 10% boost overall. If he's in his holified form, it is doubled, so it will go to 20%. So yeah, no, that's for damage wise, that's yeah, that's not too bad. And then the final dupe, so this is pretty much if you completely max out this Ichigo, this is actually a big boost. When releasing the normal attack branch Tempo Renjin, if there is currently no power charge, then a power charge will be obtained, lasting until the next usage of Tempo Renjin. If he has a power charge when releasing it, then the power charge will be consumed and the damage caused by this Tempo Engine will be increased by an additional 30%. So that's pretty much a maxed out Ichigo, and on what he gets, the additional 30% on his Tempo Engine. So, and keep in mind, you know, get the holification going on, get that 20% boost going on, apply that 40% crit. There's a lot being built up here. But anyway, in a nutshell, that is pretty much the holification Ichigo. Again, I don't know if things are going to change up. Now, again, it's a character that I used and managed to get him to his 3rd dupe. I wouldn't say he was anything too broken compared to what I've seen with other characters. So I don't think this holification Ichigo will get too much of an nerf or too much of a change, I would say. Well, like I haven't really tested him out, like being completely maxed out, but getting to his 3rd dupe, I would say he was pretty cracked, but I don't think he's broken from what I experienced. Realistically, what it is that I just know about the other characters when I talk about them on how broken they are. So those are the characters that I want to kind of save for. But yeah, I think outside of that, this Ichigo was decently well built and done. So I'm not expecting too many changes, or if none, to be fair. But yeah, like I said, if you guys want to see more of this, so you guys get a better understanding on how these characters are being done and built and whatnot, I'll be more than welcome to inform you guys more about SSRs. But I thought I'd start things off with the holification Ichigo. So yeah, let's get the Bleach content rolling, as you could say.